Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about C++ programming languages basic. So it is very important for you to understand each and everything which is basic because when you do basic, so it will definitely make you assure that whatever the advanced version or whatever the advanced question you want to deal, you can easily do that. So in the interview, there may be chances that the interviewer asks you some basic questions which might be skipped by you because you haven't done that. So it is very important to go through each and every topic which are basics, and you should know about like what are the loops, what are the condition statements, and why we use variables, the data types, and all. We will discuss it in this video. So C++ is a programming language, and this is a high level programming language developed in 1983. And actually, it has various applications. That's why we're studying this. The basic program in a C++ is like this. You have included hash include iostream, then using namespace std, int main, and then cout hello world return 0. Why we're returning here? Because we have taken int here. So it will return you the hello world. So the basic syntax of any code is header file, and then the std namespace contain various standard library component, and then the main function, which is the starting point of any program for the execution. And then you'll write the code statement inside the int main and then the return value. Comments. What are the comments? Comments are very important because if you have written a very complex code and you want to make sure that reader should understand each and every line. So you just need to include comment in it, because if you include comments, so it will make more readable for the other developers or the someone who wants to know about your code. So it is very important for you to add comments in C++. There are the two type of comments. The first is a single line and the second the multi-line. The single line which uses two forward slashes like this. And in the multi-line, there is a slash and then star. Similarly, this is the and star and then slash. Variables in C++. Variables. Variables is a storage location having the name that can hold a value of a specific data type. Like if I talk about int a equals to 5, so a is a variable which is int type and store 5 value in it. So that is the variable. This is a storage location which helps you to store a particular thing in it, particular data in it of any data type. Variables can be of any data type like char, int, float, double, whatever. Variables must be declared before they can be used. It is very important. Like if you have used a variable and then you're declaring it, so it will give you an error. Yeah, compile time error. So multiple variables can also be declared at one time. It is also a feature in C++. The name of variables can contain alphabet, digit, and underscore, but the name of a variable should start with the alphabet or the underscore. Identifiers. All the variables in a program must be given a unique name, which are known as identifier. So each variable can be identified uniquely. As when you used to write a program in like complex program, here you have to declare a various variables. So declare it uniquely. So anyone who is reading the program can easily identify, okay, this variable is used for this purpose and that variable is used for that purpose. So it would be very easy for anyone to understand the whole code. So identifiers are very important. That is uniquely identify each and everything in the program. Constants. Constants are the fixed value that remain unchanged during the execution of the program. When you're executing a program and you've declared any constant, so its value remain constant throughout the code. Next is this data type in C++. There is a int, character, floating point, double, boolean, string. These are the data type. Int, int var equals to 1 to 3. Here it stored the integer value. Integers take 4 byte. It will take the 4 bytes of memory. Character will take the 1 byte. Char var equals to single comma, single and then a. Okay. Then floating point. It is used for storing single precision floating point number, and it takes 4 bytes of memory. Like float num equals to 1.23. Here is a point value, decimal value. Double float will take 4 bytes of memory, and the double will take the 8 bytes of memory, like this. Boolean will store the true or false value. String is a collection of character surrounded by the double quotes. So the string data type is used to store words or sentence. And before using the string or declaring any variable as a string, we should include header file, which is string.h. Input and output in C++, input from the users will use scene, and for the output, cout. New line, for the new line, this slash and then n character or endl. Insert in a new line. Conditional statement in C++, there is the if statement where you will write if and then the condition and then the code. Nested if means if condition 1, and inside the code there is also one if condition, if and the condition 2 accordingly. The if else statement, if then condition then code. If that code is true, that condition is true, then inside the if code will be executed. But if it is false, then else code part will be executed. The else if means there's a if then condition 1 and then else if condition 2, else if condition 1, code to be executed if condition 1 is true. So inside the if statement, the code will be executed only and only when condition 1 is true, and code to be executed if condition 1 is false and condition 2 is true. And if your condition 2 is true but the condition 1 is false, then else if code will be executed. But if both the conditions are false, then else condition will be executed. Shorthand if else. There's a ternary operator where you'll use this question mark and then this colon. If your condition you have written the condition, and if it is true, then expression 1 will be executed, and if it is false, then expression 2. Switch statement. So there is a switch statement where evaluates the expression and compares the value of the expression with the cases. If the expression matches the value of any of the cases, the code associated with that case will be executed. Here we'll use break and default. The break keyword is used to exit the switch statement when one of the cases matches. The default keyword is optional in switch statement, and the code inside the default block is executed when none of the cases matches with the value of the expression. So switch expression, then case value 1, code to be executed if the expression matches with value 1, and then the break. Similarly, case value 2, code to be executed if the expression matches with value 2. All these things, and in the default, the code to be executed if expression does not match any case. Loop. For loop, there is a for loop, initialization expression, test expression, and then update expression. Like for int I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. And then the body of the loop, the statement which you want to execute. While condition and then statement, update condition. Do while. Do while loop execute the block of code when the condition is true, but the difference between a while and a do while loop is that the do while execute the code once without checking the condition, and the test condition is tested at end of the loop body. Do code is code to be repeated, and then the while. Array in C++. Arrays in a arrays data structure that allow us to store a fixed number of elements of the same data type in contiguous memory location. So data type equals to array name, array size. Like this. String fruit, square brackets, apple, banana, orange, and grapes. So at the index of 0, apple, 1, banana, 2, orange, 3, grapes. Multidimensional array in C++. Multidimensional array are known as the array of array that store similar type of data in a tabular form. Okay, so like this, there's a 3 comma 4 where 3 is the row number and 4 is the column number, and you're storing it. If you want to address any specific location, like if I want to address this 6, so 0, this is the 0th row, first column, 1 row, first row, 0th column, first column. So 0 comma 1, this element will be at that location. Vector in C++. Vector is a dynamic array-like data structure that store elements of the data type in a contiguous fashion that can resize itself automatically. Unlike array, which mean vectors can grow, when an element is inserted or shrink, when an element is deleted. So vectors are present in C++, standard template library, where we have to hash include vector header file in our C++ program to use vectors. So vector, data type, and then the vector name. Commonly used vector functions are the pushback, which is used to insert the element at the end of the vector. Popback, used to delete or remove pop element from the end of the vector. Clear is used to remove all the elements in the vector. Empty is used to check if the vector is empty or not. At I is used to access the element at the specific index I. Front is used to access the front element of the vector. Back is used to access the last element of the vector. Erase is used to remove an element at the specified location or the position. In this case, numbers, vector int numbers, numbers dot push back 10, numbers dot push back 20, numbers dot push back 30. So at the zeroth position, I'll get 10 and first 20. Front will return 10, back will return 30. References and pointers. References provide an alias for an existing variables. We can manipulate the original value using the reference variable. The reference variables is declared using ampersand operator. Int original variable equals to 12. A reference variable to original variable. Int ampersand reference variable equals to original variable. The reference variable is reference to the original variable. This is the reference variable. Pointer is used to store the memory address of another variable. Like पॉइंटर क्या करता है किसी और वेरिएबल की लोकेशन को अपने अंदर स्टोर करता है. Like अगर pointer is a variable that store the memory address of another variable. int x equals to 10 है एंड मैंने पॉइंटर बनाया ptr. वो ptr क्या कर रहा है पॉइंट कर रहा है x को. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि पॉइंटर जो ptr है इट विल स्टोर द एड्रेस ऑफ माई x. ठीक है वो कहाँ पे स्टोर है. इसको बनाते कैसे हैं. मैंने स्टार पीटीआर बनाया दैट इज द पॉइंटर पीटीआर विच इज टाइप ऑफ इंट इक्वल्स टू एम% आई. मतलब जो आई मेरा वेरिएबल है उसका जो एड्रेस है वो अपने अंदर स्टोर करके रखेगा. Function are the reusable block of set of statement that perform a specific task. Functions can be used to organize the logic of the program. सो फंक्शंस हम क्यों बनाते हैं मोर एंड मोर लॉजिक बिल्ड करने के लिए अपने कोड के अंदर. और फंक्शंस अगर हम बनाते हैं तो हम रीयूजेबल कंपोनेंट्स क्रिएट करते हैं जिसको हम थ्रू आउट द कोड कहीं पे भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं आपको बारी बारी डिफाइन करना हो बट यू कैन यूज दैट फंक्शंस रिपीटेडली अकॉर्डिंग टू योर नीड. There should be a return type and the function name and then the parameters. These are the things or the components which are used in the function. Like if I want to add the two numbers, so int sum equals to int a equal comma int b. Int sum equals to int a comma int b. There's this return a comma a plus b. And when I call them 3 comma 4, these both get added and return 7 will be the output. String function in C++, there is a length where you can get the length of the string str.length. Substr function is used to extract a substring from a given string. So string substr size position comma size t length constant. Position of the first character to be copied. Length of the substring. Size t. It is an unsigned integral type. Like in this case, there's string str geeks for geeks and string f sub equals to str dot substr 1 comma 5, which means extract a substring starting from the index 7 with a length of 5, index 1 with a length of 5. So answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. EEKSF. Why it won't start with G? Because G is at the zeroth index, not first. And you should start from the 1. Append function is used to append a string at the end of a given string. Like geeks for str.append this, so geeks for geeks. Compare function, it used to compare to string lexicographical order. Like string 1, string 2, string 3. If I want to compare result 1 equals to string 1 dot compare with string 2. So, and string 1 dot compare to string 3, 0. These both are same. That's why it returns 0. Empty function. Check if your string is empty or not. Math function. There is a math function min x comma y. Description return the min value of x and y. Cout min 10 comma 20. Max x comma y return the maximum value of x and y. It will return the maximum value. Then square root. If you want to find any square root, then you can use sqrt. Seal value It round up the value x, the nearest integer, then floor, then pound. Object-oriented programming in C++, class and object. Class is a blueprint for object having similar attributes in the behavior. Object An object is an instance of any variable of a class. There's a pillar of OOPS. First is encapsulation, then abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. So, encapsulation is a wrapping of the data and methods together within a single unit entity. And abstraction, showing only the necessary details and hiding the internal details, is known as the abstraction. Polymorphism, providing different functionalities with the functions or operators of the same name, is known as the polymorphism. Compile time and the runtime. Compile time polymorphism can be achieved using operator overloading and the function overloading. Runtime will be achieved using the function overriding and a virtual function. Inheritance, deriving the properties of a class, parent class, to another class, which is the child class, is known as the inheritance. Single inheritance, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, hybrid, or I can say the virtual inheritance. File handling in C++. File handling means reading the data from a file and manipulating the data of a file. So, open a file. We can use open member function of offstream class if you want to open a file. Offstream class. Read a file. Get line member function. If stream class. Write a file. We can use this operator to write a file after opening a file with the help of object of offstream class. Offstream output file example.txt. Output file.open exam.txt. If output file.open. Output file hello world. Output file 42. Output file.close. Close file. This is the reading from a file. Open of a file. Open the file for writing. For writing you're opening it. So that is the offstream. But if you're reading it, so if string input file, offstream output file. If string input file example.txt, if input file is open, then string line, while get line input file comma line, then print a line, and then close it. This is all done. This is the last topic of your file handling in C++.